Hi guys, it's Kate from Parks Coffee. We are here to share another really yummy recipe with you all. This week we are going to be making pumpkin cookies with a brown butter frosting that is so delicious. So we are going to get started here. We have lined a baking sheet with some parchment paper, and we have preset our oven to 350 degrees. And we're gonna start mixing all of our dry ingredients together. But before I do that, I do wanna share with you guys, we're gonna be pairing this with our bootlegger coffee. This was our coffee that we distilled in the whiskey barrel for 2 weeks and then roasted it. We have sold out of it, but we're gonna do a series 2 and we'll get to that later. So let's start with our dry ingredients. We have 2.5 cups of flour. We have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. We have 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg and 1/4 of a teaspoon of cloves. We have 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So we're just gonna whisk all that together really quick and then we'll set it aside. Okay, so next we're going to combine all of our wet ingredients. We have a stick of butter, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup of white sugar, a can of pumpkin puree, and 1 egg. And we also have a teaspoon of vanilla. And so we're just gonna combine all of that in the mixer, and then we're going to add in the dry ingredients that we whisked together earlier. Okay, and we will add in an egg and our pumpkin. So now we'll slowly add in our dry ingredients that we mixed at the beginning. Okay, and that about does it for the cookies. And so we will put these on a baking sheet and then we'll get started on the icing. Okay, so now we'll just scoop our cookie dough onto our parchment paper, and then we'll go back in and we'll flatten them just a little bit. Okay, so these balls of cookie dough are just fine like they are, but if you want them to have just a very nice round shape with no peaks or anything like that, you can put just a little bit of oil on your fingers and go in and just kind of round them out so that there's no peaks and so that the edges are all smooth. Okay, so now we just pop these in a 350 degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so to start the brown butter icing, you just want to take 1 stick of butter and pop it in a small saucepan over medium heat, and we're actually going to brown it. So it's going to melt, and then it will get a little bit foamy, and once the foam dissipates, you'll notice that the color will start to change. And once it gets to that golden brown color, you want to take it off and let it cool for 2 to 3 minutes. There is a fine line between browned butter and burned butter, so make sure to watch it really closely and just whisk it continually. Okay, so you can kind of see that it is getting foamy at the top. And you're gonna see that as that foam dissipates, that the color will get a nice golden brown. Okay, so our butter is officially browned and it turned that nice golden color. So we are going to let it cool for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll mix the rest of the ingredients for our frosting. Okay, so it's time to finish our frosting. We have our browned butter, and we are going to add 3 cups of powdered sugar and half of a cup of milk and 2 teaspoons of vanilla and whisk until it's all combined. Okay, so our cookies are out of the oven and they are cooling. Our icing is setting up just a little bit so that it's just a little more stiff than whenever we first mixed it together. And I just brewed a pot of our bootlegger coffee. Now, as some of you remember, we took some Sumatran beans and we distilled them in a Dickel whiskey barrel for 2 weeks, and then we roasted them, and we came up with this bootlegger series. And these bags actually sold out in the first week, but don't worry, we are coming back with a second series. This time we're gonna be using an Ethiopian coffee, so it'll be a little lighter, but still will have the same notes of vanilla and molasses and oak that is going to pair really well with these pumpkin cookies. So I'm going to pour myself a cup of our bootlegger, ice these cookies, and then have myself a little treat. Okay, so our cookies have cooled, the icing has set up. I've iced a few of these cookies already, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is. You can just take a little pumpkin cookie, swirl it around in the icing, and that's it. That's all that there is to it. These are so yummy. Everybody in my house loves them, and I just think that they pair so well with our bootlegger. Don't forget that our second series of bootlegger is coming out soon, and we hope that you are enjoying these videos. I know that we're enjoying making them for you all, and we will see you guys soon.